Once again, good morning. So we are the group 8 to tackle about understanding sexual harassment. First, let's define harassment. So sexual harassment recognized as a form of discrimination on the grounds of sex and thus are contrary to the principle of equal treatment between men and women. Also, harassment is unwelcome sexual behavior that's offensive, humiliating, or intimidating. It can be written, verbal, or physical and can be happen in person or online. Anybody can experience sexual harassment regardless of their gender when it happens at work, school, or uni. Sexual harassment may amount to a form of discrimination. So, also, if someone is abusing, insulting, or otherwise harming you on a regular basis, it's called harassment. So, harassment is a word that describes any kind of ongoing torment. At school, harassment is often known as bullying. So, let's proceed to the theoretical perspective of sexual harassment. So, sexual harassment cannot be understood from the perspective of a single theory, but it is always a combination of different predictors. Previous researchers have looked at sexual harassment using a number of frameworks, including organizational approach, feminist theory, role theory, and attribution models of sexual harassment. However, all these models shared common basic assumption and can be labeled as socio-cultural models of sexual harassment. However, there have been five widely accepted theory of sexual harassment that attempt to explain the phenomenon from different angles and perspectives. So, the first model is natural biological theory. According to this model, men have stronger sex drives and are therefore biologically motivated to engage in sexual pursuit of women. Thus, the harassing behavior is not meant to be offensive or discriminatory, but it is merely the result of biological urges. Its assumptions include a natural mutual attraction between men and women, a stronger male sex drive, and men in role of sex initiators, a key strength of natural biological perspective is that it acknowledges an innate human instinct potentially driving sexual aggressive behavior. The second theory is sex rules spillover theory. This theory is based on a proposition of irrelevant gender-based rule expectation that individuals bring to the workplace in guiding their interactions with women. Men hold the rule perceptions of women based on their traditional role in our culture. The third one is organizational theory. So, the proponents of this theory propose that one of the central concepts that helps to explain sexual harassment is power. This theory proposed that sexual harassment results from the opportunities presented by power and authority relation which derive from hierarchical structure of organization. The fourth one is socio-cultural theory. So, socio-cultural theories examine the wider social and political context in which sexual harassment is created and occurs. According to this perspective, sexual harassment is a logical consequence of a gender inequality and sexism that already exist in society. So, also, this theory asserts that women's lesser status in the larger society. It is reflected at a workplace structure and culture, thus, male dominance continues to be rule. The last theory or the fifth theory is feminist theory. According to the feminist perspective, sexual harassment is linked to the sexiest ideology of male dominance and male superiority in society. Therefore, feminist theory views sexual harassment as the product of gender system maintenance by a dominant normative form of masculinity. Thus, sexual harassment exists because of the views on women as inferior sex, but also sexual harassment serves to maintain the already existing gender stratification by emphasizing sexual expectation. In relevance of sexual harassment theories, an interpretation of this theoretical perspective reveals that both biologically as well as social culturally men happen to have always occupied a dominant position over women in society, of which the workplace are only a part. Considerable data have been accumulated confirming that harassment is widespread in both the public and the private sector, and it has significant consequences for the employees' health and psychological well-being. Therefore, the vulnerability of women as a weaker sex has traveled toward workplace and academy, where it is considered natural and normal for men to be responding sexually towards women and colleagues, subordinates, and superior. So, the theory is also that.
Your Republic Act Number 7877 or Anti-Sexual Harassment Act is the governing law for work, education, or training-related sexual harassment, specifically in a work-related or employment environment. Sexual harassment is committed when first is the sexual favor is made as a condition in the hiring or in the employment, re-employment or continued employment of said individual, or is granting said individual favorable compensation, terms of conditions, promotions or privileges, or the refusal to grant the sexual favor results in limiting, segregating, or classifying the employee, which is any way would discriminate, deprive, or diminish employment opportunities or otherwise adversely affect said employee, no? No, ang gipasabot dara sa akin nga ang employer nga mohatag og condition is mohatag og condition sa ilahang worker, no, para lang ma-promote or ma-hire, no, nya unya ang ilahang condition pa jud kay sexual, no, like dili kaaya-aya, no, like usahay kana gani ilang iharas ang ilang trabahante ba like para makipag sexual sa ilaha or mubuhat og dili bitaw kaaya-aya, like gipugos na sila, like makuha na ha ang ilahang, like makuha na ilahang dignity or unsa pa na, then para lang sa, no, like ang weakness bitaw sa employee bitaw kay ilahang gigamit para mabuhat ang ilahang dautan nga plano, like kanang sexual harassment, no, like para lang kay ang mga employees sa baya kay ganahan sa baya ma-promote, no, like para makuha og privileges nga para mataas-taas ang ranggo nila sa ana nga company, but ma-promote lagi sila or ma-hire sa trabaho kung nga ay lahi nga intention or bad intention ng kanang employer sa ilahan, no. The above acts would impair the employee's right or privileges under existing labor laws. Means nga impair is makadaot sa mga katungod o right sa mga empleyado. Dili day makamaayo kundi makadaot siya. Next is the above acts would result in an intimidating, hostile, or offensive environment for the employee. Means kanang intimidating, like mo resulta siya nga like hadlok or mag-cause siya og negative effects sa environment sa mga employee, no? On the other hand, in an education or training environment, sexual harassment is committed. First is against one who is under the care, custody, or supervision of the offender, no? Like mahitabo day ang sexual harassment if under sa usa ka offender ang usa ka employee, no? Example is like amo og kasambahay, no, kintahay sagpaon, no, like dili pakanon og kulatahon bisag gamay lang nga sayop ang kasambahay, no, so that mausad na siya usa ka example sa sexual harassment, no, nga najud bitay ubang kasambahay nga daog-daogon ra sa ilang amo bitaw dili jud tratuhon og tarong, no, imbis manarbaho masila na hinuoy maka-experience noon og sexual harassment. Ang ikaduha kay against one whose education, training, apprenticeship, or tutorship is entrusted to the offender. Mahitabo na sa DI ang sexual harassment if usa ka tawo is nagtraining ba or ga-apprentice, no, sa usa ka punta ni. Example, tahay ako, nagtraining ko as a flight attendant sa usa ka company nya ang dako-dako sa training is iya kong i-discriminate, iya kong ingnon nga bati kog naong, bugo, ug mga abusive nga words, no, usa sa dyan siya sa example sa usa ka harassment to nga like ma-open ta, like mababa sa dang atong self-confidence sa atong kagalingon tungod kay giingnan ta na nga mga words nga sakit makadut kaayo sa dughan. Ang ikatulo kay when the sexual favor is made a condition to the giving of a passing grade, granting of honors and scholarship, or the payment of a stipend, allowance, or other benefits, privileges, or consideration, no? Diri asad, no? example ani is makipagsundo ka nga makipag-seek ka sa usa ka teacher o di kay dako-dako sa company, no? Like kintahay imong teacher may muas nimo og 6, no? Like para lang mudako ang imong grado or ma-promote ka sa work, no? Like naa bitaw na sa magpakailan man, no? Like ang bata gusto mo dako ang grado, like di samantala sad sa usa ka teacher. Giingnan niya nga kung kung musugod siya sa kung unsay buhaton sa usa ka teacher bisan dili siya yun, no? Like mapugos na lang sad ka, like ma-force na sad isip usa ka estudyante kay lagi gamay ka score ana nga grades niya ganahan ka mo pasar. Mao sad ganang gamiton sad lagi ang imong kahinaan, like mapang samantala ba nga iharas na hinuon ka para ingnon ka nga para mudako ang imong grado or dili ka mabagsak ana nga sem, no? Mao sad ni atong makasagarang nakit-an sa wish ko lang magpakailanman or sa ipaglaban mo, no? Then next is when the sexual advances result in an intimidating, hostile, or offensive environment for the student, trainee, or apprentice. Next is sexual harassment in the civil service. Sexual harassment in the civil service is punishable by Civil Service Commission number 01-0940, also known as Administrative Disciplinary Rules on Sexual Harassment Cases. Here, sexual harassment can be committed at the following places, no? First, in the premises of the workplace or office or of the school or training institution, no? Like ang mga sexual harassment, bisan asa jud na siya nato makita na adyo mga tao nga ara nga place sila magbuhat muharas sa imuha or magbuhat og sexual harassment, no? Ang ikaduha, in any place where the parties were found as a result of work or education or training responsibilities or relations. Third is at work, education or training related social functions. Fourth, during work, schools or training related travel. Fifth is while on official business outside the office or school or training institution or doing work, school or training related travel. Six is at official conference for a symposia or training sessions by telephone, cellular phone, fax machine, or electric mail. No, ang sexual harassment, no, wala jud siya pili. Like kita jud tanan, like bisan asa nga place naa jud ang sexual harassment dili jud malikayan, no? Bisan makaingon ka nga safety ka dira nga lugar, safety ka kay na mga kay kauban, pero dili man sad ta kabalo sa panahon ang sexual harassment na ara jud na siya, no? Mabiktima jud na jud mabiktima, no? Dili jud nato malikayan. Ang ato lang buhaton kung maka experience dayon ta ni musumbong dayon ta sa kung kinsay pwede nato nga kasumbungan. Kay sexual harassment dili ni basta-basta kay maka-cause ni og kuan sa ato like emotionally ma-anxiety pa ta, ma-drain pa ta, like mahadlok man sad ta mo gawas kay lamin na ang trauma, no? Dili jud na siya basta-basta. Next is the following forms of sexual harassment are committed. Diri na sada na say lahi, no? Like sa physical. Diri ang malicious touching, no? Like wala sila pananghid nimo. Like imong amo gihikap-hikap ka, like gihikap ang imuhang paa, gihikap ang imuhang butts, like mga private part nimo gihikap niya, like naa siya motives bitaw ngay wala sad siya consent sa imuha, lahi na sad iyahang hinikapan sa imuha, malicious touching, no? Nadyo na kasagaran like pambasto sa imuha, no? The next is overt
sexual advances, no? Ang example lang sa dani kay magpakita og motive ang isa ka lalaki or babae bitaw nga wala sa dili sad ka kauyon or lainan ka o ngiligyan ka sa ilaha bitaw ang gibuhat. Next is gestures with low insinuation. No, ang example sa dana is ang babae is kaliton lang og sa lalaki or ba gesture nga makaklongklod ta nga lain or bastos na iyang gipakita or gibuhat bitaw sa imuha. Number 2, muna diri ang verbal such as but not limited to. First is request of demands for sexual favors, no? Mauna ni, no, for example is imong boss, no, like moa sa imuha nga may kipag sex bisan di ka gusto bitaw, like mauna ni nga i-force na sad ka bisan dili ka ganahan mo buhat og inana. The next is lurid remarks. Nanasad ni, no? Example sa lurid remarks is mauna na siyang overhigh na ang iyang gipakita nga kabastusan sa usa ka babay, like nasubraan ra bitaw, like nilapas na siya sa limitation which is dili sakto, no? Mao na siya ang example sa lurid remarks. Next is use of objects, pictures or graphics, letters or written notes with sexual underpinnings.